So I come up with a list, all the input, calling people, you know, the interested, not interested, whatever comes in. But the actual approval of it is by resolution, which means town board action. So, okay, next item on the agenda is status report on town hall campus projects. And in your handout is the little Excel spreadsheet. Looks like that. And when I went to photocopy it, I didn't want to pay 50 cents a copy because I had my completed dates in there in red. So I just marked it up wherever you see the arrow there where it shows completed. Those are the ones that are actually done. So going through the list, and the other thing is, when you see on your go and no go, for instance on the top, the ADA compliance for the courtroom, the judicial branch looked at our operation in the courtroom in regards to ADA and accommodation, and they said we were making reasonable accommodation based on, I believe, Judge, you said twice or so since you've been judge, and you just went down to the boardroom. This judge said that's making a reasonable accommodation. The next one may not, you don't know. But anyway, so we're calling that a no-go, and that one would have been $50,000 and potentially more if we had to do improvements to a little parking lot at the back of the building in order to do that, like a lift. So you see go and no-go, there's totals in there. If the goal projects, 311,000, all the projects, 358. And any other duplications with no-go means, we had several bids. Like you look at the new well in the middle of the page, Sam's was 6061 and Hare was 6095. Well, we picked Sam's, and rightfully so. They did it, they drilled that 180-foot well in about 6 hours. But good equipment will do that for you. But anyway, so you see the ones that say completed. Going down the line, the design for the bathroom remodel. Again, this is ADA, and this is going to be a board decision in May whether to approve the bids or not. One architect had it at about 12,000, another one had it at 11,000. The reason Kehoe Henry from Alpharm was so low, they just did two almost exact same projects in Delavan and I'm forgetting, maybe Lake Geneva. So they in effect had the contract documents already put together, and it was quite easy for them to do that. And I'm sure the $120,000 construction, well, the bids are going to tell that. Kehoe Henry said it's going to be between 90 and 120. I used a high number just for budgeting purposes. The other thing that's done, like I said, was the well. The well itself is done, and the direct board to get it to the DPW building, and the interior plumbing and electrical work. All that's going to occur within the next 2 to 3 weeks. Again, there's no potable water in that building. The well does not meet code, and the biggest problem is that our park shelter, there's no water, and that's not good. I mean, we need drinkable water there, and we had to shut it off last year because of basically an order. So that's going to be done. The health hazards have been taken care of. The asbestos and the mold remediation, pretty reasonably priced and completed, as well as the duct cleaning. And you say, well, what the heck are you doing that for? One reason is it's never been done. It's the first time in that building. And if you would have seen what came out of it, you would not have liked the looks of it. So anyway, these are the projects. All of the projects listed on here are in a budget, in the approved budget. So it's already approved as far as projects. But anything that's not done here yet will have to be approved by the board. And not everything on here is going to happen. Some things may not happen. But for sure, we already discussed previously under the interior exterior security / DVR, the security cameras, as well as the access control in all the buildings. that's gonna be done, you know, probably in mid-May, but more likely mid-June. So, you know, that's gonna happen. And there's some other maintenance stuff like the boardroom carpeting, which you all see, it's not good. So, on this spreadsheet, are there any questions about these projects?
Quick question, you've got replaced the salt shed roof,
Yes.
understandable. Is that also converting that building from cold to warm?
Okay, the salt shed, actually, since we store salt, the DNR inspects that building every year, and they told us the roof is getting pretty close. You know, we actually had that originally in the town hall budget. We stripped that out after the public hearing, or after the open house, I should say. And it's now considered a maintenance project. It's gonna have to happen, if not this year, you know, early next year for sure. The cold to warm storage, that's a deal just needing more warm storage for DPW equipment. There's a conversion, it's the end of the building, call it the, I guess it'd be the south end of the building, is an open door type deal, dirt floor, no insulation. So yeah, we could put some stuff in there that, you know, doesn't need, you know, any type of protection, you know, temperature wise. And again, that's one that we're gonna have to look at when we get a stronger price on it. The idea was, with the town hall project, the police cars would have went into new garages, and then the DPW would have had where the squads are now, you know, as a heated, location. And, can't plan on that now, so I think it's gonna stay the way it is. So there's gonna be some more discussion on that cold to warm, because, it's not a simple conversion. The floor is easy, the insulation in that particular case is not, you know, so, but that's a tool.
So I apologize, that was kind of a long answer.
Yeah.
Are you looking to heat the salt area?
Oh, no. These are two separate projects. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, the salt shed roof, that's just a roofing project, nothing else. And to convert cold to warm storage, that's the end of the DPW building. That would be good. Right. Any other questions on the projects? Okay. Item number 10 on the agenda is any other business the town meeting had jurisdiction over for state statute 60.11 sub 6. And as you know, last year there was 3 items that came right out of that list. That was the size of the board, the salary of the board, and the authorization of the town hall project. So this is kind of a cover-all, but I think a lot of the input that we've had so far kind of, you know, maybe a little closer to the other agenda items, but this is a cover-all for any other business that the town meeting has jurisdiction over. And Jim, I don't know if you want to state anything on that?
Pretty much anything can come up for discussion, but the board is limited as to what they can do.
Okay. All right. Is there any other business you want us to bring up at this time? None. Going once, twice.
Question.
Oh, question. John. I knew you'd be there.
If nobody else has anything, then I'm gonna ask. Joe, in the newspaper and at the last meeting, you had made a few prepared statements, talking specifically about how this election was a New York style election, and making some, pretty serious allegations towards folks about the hotel project, intimidation tactics, felonies, things that are sort of cast towards myself and some other members in the community that were involved in the most recent election. And so, my question to you is that up until now, publicly anyways, you haven't said any names about who it is that you feel is involved in this stuff. And so, for myself selfishly, but for others, I'd like to ask and also give you the opportunity in front of everyone to either identify who it is that you feel is involved in these things, or maybe do me a favor and absolve the people that have fingers pointed at them for these things, because it doesn't seem right, it doesn't seem appropriate, it doesn't seem like the correct conduct of a chairman who gets held to a higher standard to say those things about people that are innocent until proven guilty.
Okay, all right, and that's a good point I thought that you would ask. First of all, that would exonerate you, John, because you called me many months ago and said, I have nothing to do with the PAC. Nothing. Right, John?
Right.
We talked. Take me for your word.
Yep.
And also, Michelle and Chad were also surprised their names were around, and they both publicly said, we had nothing to do with it. So, actually, it's nothing to do with you, John. Nothing to do with you at all, because you said, I'm not part of this. So, who it is, it's the PAC, and all we know is the people that registered, under the name, of the PAC, 2 people, and I put that in the newspaper. So, nothing more, nothing less, and John, it's a good thing that, to say you want to make sure it's not you, no way, it's not you, it's not these people either. I wanted to make sure that this board starts out their business with a new board, clean slate. There is no issues. There's nothing that's going to stop this board from doing good work. So, that's all.
I got a question.
All right, any other comments? Yeah, John.
I don't know, Joe, if you had an opportunity to see the recorded session that happened down at Lindy's on the 30th.
No.
That question was brought up by one of the moderators, and they specifically asked each candidate that was running if any of the candidates have tied to the PAC or if they were involved with any type of hotel proposal at the Lindy's site property there. And everyone that was asked the question denounced any affiliation or ties to it. And I don't know if you're aware that that happened, but that probably should have been reviewed before your statement was spoken. Because you used like a dragnet approach, you just trolled the whole crowd.
Yeah.
So we've already talked about it and discussed it, we've all.
Yeah, I did not see the recording.
Okay.
So.
Fair enough. Thank you.
And that's a good point, Jen. And I did not hear that recording. But I do think that the bulk mailing went out to the world, including people that know in Waukesha County. The bottom of that mailer said, not paid for or endorsed by any of the candidates. That should have been on the first thing that went out, these bulletin boards and stuff, that should have said that. Hey, people not paid for by, or endorsed by these people. That would have been the legal way to do it. So, good point, John, thank you.
I move adjournment.
All right, we have a motion to adjourn. Who was that? Terry Dignan. Do we have a second? Who's that to the left there? Right. Andy Szymanski. All right, we're adjourned. Thank you.